Duran here, and this is state and local government. So, we are going to be focusing on how the government operates at the state and local level. This is distinct from American government or national government, where you focus on government at the national level. But we will be talking a little bit about the national government so that we can understand how the national and state governments interact. So, I'm Mr. Duran. My email is right there. I check my email compulsively. So if you have any questions, that is the fastest way to get a hold of me. First, don't forget to go in, read the syllabus, take a look at it. It's got all the things laid out in there. It's got all the modules laid out. It's got all the due dates, all the project due dates. So make sure that you go in and read the syllabus and let me know if you have any questions. Course description. This course covers the structure and function of government at the state and local levels. We will explore state and local government's relationship with the federal government as well as their relationships with each other. And we will also explore local controversies that don't always make it into the national conversation. So, let's talk about your online coursework. The very first thing I want you to do, besides, of course, to watch this video, the very first assignment that I want you to complete is a little discussion forum on introducing yourself. Take a moment to participate in this Introduce Yourself discussion board. First, it's nice for all of us to get to know each other, so that's a good place to start. But second, this is how I take your initial attendance for your engagement with the course. We're required to take a census at the beginning of the course to see who is and is not attending. And then we end up dropping anyone who doesn't attend for the first week or so. And so, failure to complete this could result in being dropped in the course. So make sure that this is the very first thing that you do. Now, this first discussion is not anything that you have to go into a lot of detail. Just kind of just state your name and what some of your goals are, what your academic history is, and then it doesn't have to be anything real complicated. Now, let's talk about getting into the modules. CARC has now moved back to a 16-week module away from the 8-week module. So this means that one module will open every Monday. These modules will contain your assignments and quizzes, which are due the following Sunday at midnight. So Monday morning, a module will open up for you, and then everything in that module will be due the following Sunday night. So you've got about a week or so to complete each module. The very first thing you'll see in each module is a political discussion. The first assignment for each module will always be a political discussion. That's one discussion per module. Your initial post is due midweek at midnight, and your comments are due at the end of the week at midnight. So what will happen is it'll basically have a question in there, and I'll give you a little background, and you're just going to give your opinion on that question, and then you're going to have to comment on some other people's posts as well. So in order to get full credit, you must do three things. First, you must select a position on the issue, create your own thread, and write a post of at least 250 words that explains your position. The second thing you have to do is comment on someone else's thread, and the third thing you have to do is comment a second time. So you get 10 points for your initial thread, you get 5 points for your first comment, 5 points for your second comment, for a total of 20 points. And I'm not going to be looking at grammar. I'm not going to be scrutinizing your argument. What I'm going to be looking at is, did you meet the word count? Did you stay on topic? And did you follow the rules of the discussion? If I ask a question, make sure you respond to that, because that's all part of the dialogue of these discussions. Here are the rules. And please do not violate any of these rules. The first, just because someone disagrees with you does not mean that they are a bad person or that they hate America. Disagreement is what America is built on. And so do not go getting crazy upset or thinking that somebody's a terrible person just because they disagree with you. Never attack someone personally or disrespect anyone. Now, it is okay to disagree. It is okay to attack someone's argument, but never attack someone personally and never show anyone any sort of disrespect. Be open-minded. I know we all have our beliefs and we all have the things that we hold dear and hold to our core, but be open-minded about some of the things that you have decided are not really non-negotiables. And don't be cute, ironic, or a troll. Come to discussion with thoughtful ideas and in good faith. If I get the impression that you are not coming to an argument in good faith, or that you're trying to be cute, or you're trying to be ironic, or you're just trying to get people mad, you will not be receiving credit for your assignments. Okay, that's the first thing you're going to find in a module is that weekly discussion. The next thing you're going to find is the quizzes. Every module, you'll take a quiz covering that module's material, which could be a lecture, it could be a video, it could be a chapter reading. I do a lot of my lectures through audio files, and then I also put a presentation with that audio file. And so what I would do is the audio file is something you can listen to like while you're jogging or running or just kind of working on other things. But do know that the audio file kind of goes along with the presentation. And so at least once you might want to sit down and listen to the audio file with the presentation in front of you, because sometimes I have some visual aids that will kind of help sort things out. The quiz is open note, short response, and has no timer. Now, when I say short response, I don't mean you got to give me a paragraph for the answer. What I mean is it's not a multiple choice question. So sometimes the answer is just Thomas Jefferson. So just make sure you give me the answer, and there's no timer to it, and just make sure it's turned in by Sunday. Depending on the material, the quiz could be anywhere from 10 to 40 questions. Some modules are more robust than others. Some are just kind of get to the point and move on. It just kind of depends on the module, how many questions you'll have. You also are going to write a research paper in this class. This course requires that you write one research paper due the very last week of the course. And the guidelines are there in Canvas under its own module. If you go all the way down to the bottom of Canvas, there's a research paper module down there. Read the directions. You're going to be writing in Chicago to Arabian. I've given you a bunch of resources in there. I've given you a list of about 12 prompts. Pick any one of those prompts and write a paper on any one of those prompts. And if you have any questions about Chicago to Arabian, I'll be happy to give you some more resources on that. Don't hesitate to email me if you need any additional directions. You'll respond to any one of the series of prompts provided in the module and submit the assignment as a PDF or a Word doc. Now, this is important because there's some confusion on this sometimes. You're not responding to every prompt. You're not answering every question. You're only picking one and then just doing a research paper on that one topic. So I don't want you to think that I'm asking you to write either 12 research papers or one research paper that covers every topic. You're just writing one paper for one topic. All right. And then finally, you're going to take your exams. You'll have a midterm and you'll have a final. These will be open note exams. They will consist of 60 multiple choice questions. They will have 4 short answer questions. The midterm will be located in Module 8. The final exam will be located in Module 16. And just like the quizzes, there's no timer. And so open that bad boy up and take your time. And you should be able to save your progress and come back to it. But there's no timer, and so don't worry about trying to do it all within about a half hour or so. That you can take as long as you need to. Grades. Here's how grades will break down. Political discussions are 10% of your grade. Weekly quizzes are 30% of your grade. Your research paper is 30% of your grade. And your exams are for a total of 30% of your grade. So that means each exam will be about 15% of your grade for a total of your entire grade. So like I said, if you have any questions, contact me through email. I check that thing compulsively, and I hope you guys have a great semester. Let me know if you need anything.